Hello. I think it's working now. Hey, you can even hear me, huh? I've been wanting to play this game. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must. Some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept and accept that she will receive a demerit. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrian's home life. The parents are well educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrian. She is often alone when she is not. Can't even read. The parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmation when dealing with someone so young. Having two parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition in a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way to regular life. I surmise that I would be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make believe. How are you liking your new house? You've told me you used to live close by, but it can still be a big adjustment, a new room, a new school. It's okay. Sal's giving me a look like if there's something wrong with me. I mean, maybe there is, but I'm getting a lot of entertainment just by reading this text out loud and like. Oh, the basement. I like that. Oh God. Why did I have to say it like that? I don't know if you guys even heard me. Like she's like sounded like Garth Brooks or something, you know. Oh shit, that was funny, dude. She sounded like Garth Brooks or something, and like my voice that I made for her, you know, the basement. Yeah, well, there's a lot of cool stuff. Mom and Dad sent me down there. Your mom and dad made you go? Hang on, let me see who's messaging me. Oh, I forgot to hit on pause. Your mom and dad made you go? Yeah, but there's lots of cool stuff. Well, they say that that's not why they sent me down there, though. Why did they send you down there? Fighting. They were fighting, shouting. I came in to help and they shouted at me. They said, "Go clean up downstairs." So I went. That sounds tough. Did they fight a lot? No, well they it's all right, Adrienne. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead. Sure, there's a lot of creepy crawly stuff in the basement. Okay, well, it was weird at first, the stuff down there, but cool. I found something living, sort of, at first. Not now, but at first it was. That's very interesting, Adrian. Please tell me more. Like, you know, this teacher guy is like fucking patronizing her. He doesn't believe a word that she's saying. He's sitting there tapping his finger. He's got an apple sitting on his desk. Like, he's fucking hot shit. She's about to grow her grandpa, man. By indulging in her fantasies and stories, I was able to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parent. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage similar make-believe, I will set her down her story here. Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Shit's gonna get fucking upon removing the plastic bags from the walls, she noticed their interior was lined with glass. That's pretty much what it said. Now it says, like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror. Reflecting inwards toward the animal they covered. I gently asked her what exactly this animal was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew or extended its shaggy-haired self. Hair like the fur of a dog, I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew outwards. It grew towards her, the animal's hair reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle, I offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of Grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded. In order to keep the game of make-believe going, I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I am unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs is but one example. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue. Mr. PhD, on the reverse side of the photograph there's more text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Stay warm. Now, I knew there was going to be something fucked up going on. As soon as you start talking about going to the Ural Mountains, man, as soon as you start talking about going anywhere over there, anywhere in Russia, close to Russia, you know what I'm talking about? You better just change plans, man. Listen to this. Eurasian steppe shamanism. That's steppe, Steppe. So you know their shit serious. Eurasian steppe shamanism and fusiform gyrus? What the fuck is that word? An interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic. A dissertation, Jacob Hart. The impetus of this research was the recognition of a particular pattern in fragments of documents related to magic and magico-religious practices. Numerous sources were drawn from commentaries on laws relating to the banning of sorcery and necromancy, compilations of folk charms related to love spells, hagiographs of saints and their encounters with devils. The list spans many centuries and a great distance, from the Levant to the Khazar Khaganate of the border of the modern nation-states of Russia and Kazakhstan today. Now listen, tell me my geographic knowledge isn't on point. Just name a mountain range. I know where it is. At least a lot of them. Maybe not that many of them, actually, but I knew where that mountain range was. From this paper trail arose a consistent account about a certain form of magic relating to the binding of demons to a sorcerer's will. Okay. I want to stop for just a second and say, don't get into any occult shit. Okay, I promise you it's not worth it. And this stuff does fucking exist, weirdly enough. There are books about this stuff, whether or not it really happens or whether or not it really works the way that they tell you. If you spend enough time thinking about anything, something's gonna happen. You know, what do you want to spend your time thinking about? Don't think about magic and stuff, though. Stop wishing for stuff to happen. You know, I read about mysticism from like Germanic peoples, and they believed in making something called a wight, which was like a spirit that was like a demon almost, except it was created by the will of a human being, like a human sorcerer. And I think that a lot of our modern ideas about magic kind of come to that. And so, in a weird way, they believed that you could make your own demons. And if you wished hard enough and long enough, you could do whatever you wanted to. I don't necessarily believe that, but because what I believe is that if you wish hard enough and long enough, eventually it'll start to hurt you. Eventually you'll start to get delusional. You know, you might find a big pile of hair that's alive in your basement, you know, and you think that you're putting together a doll of like bringing, just, you never know, dude. This is an interesting game. A demon called the Heaven of Needles, or the Angel of Needles, was known to be kept best by shamanic keepers or wards who suffer from face blindness, prosopagnosia, whether by birth or through developmental causes like stroke or head injury. It was known to be extremely effective but terribly dangerous. so much so that it became outlawed several times and was generally a popular scapegoat related to unexpected death. The nexus of this magical religious meaning-making sorcery regarded human-related desires and the history of science of neurological disorders related to the fusiform gyrus. What is that word? Is where the subject of this dissertation will reside. I will My cat hears me talking and he constantly is thinking that I'm asking him to come over here to me, which is not what I'm doing. I love him, but I'm not. I'm like trying to pay attention and read something right now. I will outline further and then analyze the historical sources I mentioned previously. Then I will go into the neurology of mystic and magical religious experiences. After that, I will detail my ongoing correspondence with the resident of the Ural Mountain region who is an expert folklorist and keeper of traditions he claims have been passed down through his extended family for generations. I interrupted her to ask what she did with these materials. Grow grandpa, she explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately. She explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room, the cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. I wonder what does that note say? Because I can't figure out how to open my inventory. I don't think there even is one. Like, I can't even sit here and play a game. Because he just won't leave me alone. I love him. I'm going to take a break for a minute. I'll be right back.